guys, on this episode of the van build, we're going to be making and installing this shiplap wood paneling on the walls and the ceilings.
The lumber that I'm using here for this project is red pine that my dad actually cut the trees down and sawed this into lumber a couple of years ago. And so all of this lumber was in 2x8 stock, 2 inches by 8 inches. And for the paneling, we need it to be thinner. So what we're doing here is using the Wood-Mizer bandsaw mill to cut this 2-inch thick board into a 1-inch thick. My goal for this build project is to use as much materials from local sources as possible and try to do as much of the work myself that I can. So I think this is really cool that I'm able to use something from my home that, you know, my family and I have completely done all of the work from start to finish. After the work on the sawmill is finished, we then have to use a thickness planer to smooth out the edges of the board, because when they come out of the sawmill, the edges are quite rough and not uniform. So this is just making everything uniform, the same thickness, all nice and pretty. After the planing is finished, then we go to the joiner and make the edges square. This is important so that all the boards line up. And then the next step is to put the groove into the edge for the shiplap. So I'm using a table saw with a dado blade to make a 5/8 inch wide groove in the edge, notch in the edge that you can see there. And we have to do this on both sides. Once that's complete, then we can go into the van.
Hey guys, so this is kind of the final product for this section. So what we've done is taken the pine boards, and now that they have the groove notched in them for the shiplap, we've taken and screwed them into the wall. So got 2 screws holding each of these in, and we're just going to do that all the way up. Here behind me this is going to be the bed frame, and then I've just taken some of the masonite paneling that came in the van and cut that for this area, which is going to be like the garage. So that will be the area underneath the bed where I store bikes and whatnot. So that's what's over here behind me, this whole section here. I did this section of the shiplap first because there's going to be a cabinet here, so you won't see most of this anyways, and if I really screwed it up, then it wouldn't be a problem. I think it came out pretty nicely. I need to do a little trim work right here. But yeah, so now I have the wood in here to do these shorter sections, so like above the bed and beside the bed over here behind the driver's seat. So that stuff will happen next before going on to the longer full-length pieces that will be on the ceiling and on the walls above the other side bed. On the door, the slider door here, which is just in front of this section, this here, I don't really have the thickness available because there's pretty small amount of space between this door and the door jamb as it slides open. So I think I'm just going to stick the masonite, like this stuff that's on the bed. I'm gonna just put that back over this door. I think that's kind of the best call to make there. So yeah, it's coming together slowly but surely. I'll keep you updated. Alrighty, it's got the paneling on the walls finished. It'll still need to get trim work and all of that jazz, but the majority of those pieces are up. And then I have all the pieces cut for the ceiling. They're over here. But we didn't get to those, and we could do it, but a couple of things. We ran out of screws, and I need to put wiring in for lights. So that'll happen next. Alrighty guys, so as you saw, I just did all the wiring for the ceiling lights. So what I have going on here is I have 8 of these little can lights, miniature can lights that are 12 volt LED. They just go into the ceiling, and these little things retain them, so I have to drill holes in the ceiling boards. But what I've done here is I have this little dimmer switch that I put into the wall here, so that thing's got a nice detent for on and off, and then it's a dimmer. So that's all wired in here. I got it, the wires all run up underneath these boards already, and then got power run up to the front, and I've wired this kind of in 2 circuits. So I have one circuit with 4 lights, and another circuit with another 4 lights. The rear one, that's all over the bed, and then these will be up more in the living space. Right now, I wired it all to 1 switch because that was my original plan. I only bought 1 switch. After thinking about it some more, I may want to do 2 switches in the future, so I'm going to see how this is. But so what I've done is I made it pretty easy so that I can run. I just have to cut one connection that's back here, and then put the second switch in here. I'll be able to pull power and ground off the same two wires, so it'll just need to be one more wire run up to here, if I decide to do that. But we'll see how we like it like this. I think it'll be all right. I'm just worried about it being too bright. If we want kind of some dim lighting, I'm not sure how dim the lights will go with the dimmer, and that way it'll give us some more options. I really debated about the light switch positioning because I wanted to be able to control it when you open and get in from the side door. But I also wanted to be able to reach it from the bed. And originally I was planning on running two switches, a three-way circuit. So having like one switch over there and then one back here so that I could reach it from when I open the rear door as well. But that kind of posed to be a little more difficult than I was thinking. So I ended up going with one switch. I put it here so you will be able to reach it from this door, and the bed is going to come to right here, the edge of this frame, so I'll be able to reach it from in bed too. So kind of a win-win, simple solution. I decided to keep things awfully simple instead of simply awful. So yeah, I started to put the ceiling up, got two boards here, and I'm getting pretty tired tonight. And now the next board is where the lights will go, and we'll need to have all the holes drilled for that. So this is a good stopping point for tonight, and hopefully get some more done soon.
Here I'm drilling the holes into the board for the lights, and then we're putting those up, making sure that the wires go through the holes, and then installing the lights. And with the springs on the lights, they just hold themselves in there really well. And having driven it after doing this, there's no problem. They don't fall out or anything going over bumps. So after the lights are all installed, this is the final product. They don't get as dim as I would like, but they do quite fine. And after using them for a couple of months now, having them on one circuit for me is not a problem. However, my dad used the van, and he would have liked to be able to turn the only the lights over the bed on. So I may go to that in the future. So this is pretty much the final product there. In this picture, you can see all the lights on, and you can also see that it's still missing two boards on the ceiling. And I miscalculated, did not have enough boards, so had to mill up a couple of more. And I don't have that on video. The other thing I don't have on video is I put polyurethane on all of these boards after they dried out in the van a little bit more. And that was just to seal them up and make them more weatherproof. But I hope you guys like this video. Just a little on the longer side, but wanted to show the full process. Remember to like and subscribe and comment. Have a good one.